Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, regulations have really been changed this year, and I think it's important that we think of some of those regulations and how they affect us. We live, and if we're basing the St. Lawrence River and its tributaries on what I'm about to say, then it's important that you know there's a different set of rules for fishing the St. Lawrence than there is in fishing inland waters. And I don't need to go into all those rules right now, but I think it's really critical that you know that. Generally speaking, fish that you catch in the St. Lawrence River have to be bigger for you to legally keep them than they do in the inland waters or in the tributaries. But here's where it becomes a bit confusing. Those fish that are in our tributaries, the Grass River, the Racket River, the Oswegatchie River, the St. Regis River, and others, the fish that live in there fall into two categories. Those that live below the first impassable barrier, which in most cases is a dam. Those that live downstream of that dam, even though there may be a long distance before that river enters the St. Lawrence, those fish are considered St. Lawrence River fish. They fall under the same guidelines as fish caught out in the St. Lawrence. If these fish live above the first barrier, then there's a whole different set of rules. To just give you an idea, for example, northern pike caught out in the St. Lawrence River have to be over 20 inches long to keep. If they're caught above the first dam, then they only have to be 18 inches to keep. Walleyes out in the St. Lawrence River have to be 18 inches if you're going to keep any. If you're fishing above the dams and catch them in any of the tributaries, then they only have to be 15 inches. But a lot of people get confused about this. They'd be fishing, let's say, down by Hosmer's Marina in the Oswegatchie, and they might catch a 15-inch walleye and think, oh, this is okay to keep. They keep it, and then all of a sudden the game warden comes up and gives them a ticket. So it's important, and there's so many other variations to this. The amount of fish you can keep, the sizes, and these are just some, even season openings in some cases can vary between one stretch of water and another. And sections of the downstream tributaries can be closed, especially the Grass River in a certain section and the Oswegatchie River. In that section I talked about by Hosmer's is closed at the end of the winter to give the walleyes a chance to spawn in these rivers so that they aren't caught and kept from spawning. There's a lot to remember, but it isn't that bad. And there's DEC regulations that are printed and that are online that you can read so that you shouldn't have an excuse. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.